Hi and welcome along, this is Martin from Done for Fit Pros. Now guys, this module is probably one of the most important things you will be watching ever, whenever doing any advertising. Today, we are going to talk about knowing your numbers. Now, every business that I've owned for the past few years in my life, it was all being run by numbers. And doesn't really matter whether the business idea was a great one or a bad one or whatever the thing was. If the numbers didn't stack up, then the business idea was scrapped. No matter how much in love I was with the business or how much I was in love with the product or whatever the case may be, one thing that I want you to think about your business is it is a business. It's there to make you money and it's there to help people out, yes, but ultimately you can't help people out if you don't have any money. In the sphere of life, people want to see you successful, and then they will buy your product a lot more. It's just one of those simple things in life. Now, today, what I want to do in this module it's very complex in many ways, but it's very easy in a lot of ways as well. Now, over the past few years, I've created tools that help me know when I'm running ads or know when I'm running a business, to know whether it's being successful or whether there's a problem somewhere or whatever the case may be. So, and I'm going to give these tools to you guys as well. So I'm gonna drop a spreadsheet here below, and it's something that you have to use every day. Like when I say every day, is every day when I wake up or when I start my work or whatever the case may be. I run the numbers and the numbers make sense and I make decisions on those numbers. If you're making, I find a lot of the people that I work with, they will launch an ad and they will start stressing the next day because there's no applications, no nothing. But the reason why they stress is because they don't know their key numbers. And I'm going to show you right now within this spreadsheet, ignore all the stuff here on the right hand side. What is the most important numbers is that you know exactly and specifically how much does it cost to get an email address, how much does it cost to get an application form or a lead in, and how much does it cost you to advertise and then get a client in. If you don't know these numbers, I bet you 100% right now, you don't know these numbers of your business. You probably have if you're running advertising, let's say like flyers, okay, you spend £500 on marketing, on a flyer drop or whatever the case may be, and then what happens? 2-3 months go by and you don't even know how much money you're getting back from those flyers. Maybe a lot of people are starting to inquire, and you say to yourself, oh, it must be the flyer drop, or it must be this, or must be that, but you're never really sure. And you can't directly tie back the return on the investment from the cost of the advertising. So for example, if I say that, I mean, if I'm dropping flyers today, how long does it take me to get inquiries? Number one. How long does it take me to sign up a client? How many clients have I signed up from that whole process? So if I paid £500 for the flyer drop, did I get 10 clients who paid me 500 or £99 per month? Which means I'm getting $1,000 in return. How long does that take? It's over a 3-month period. So, I can then basically say a flyer drop gets me clients in 3 months for £500, and I get 10 clients typically from that. That's knowing your numbers, okay? Now, that's very difficult to do with a flyer drop, but what I'm going to teach you is how to do this with Facebook today. And like I say, this is like super important. And I've broken it down in a very simple spreadsheet that you can just follow, and then hopefully you will start getting results. But first, before we get into this spreadsheet and how to use it, I want to show you some numbers that I'm running at S&P, and I'm going to show you one of the best months we had was March in 2016, and I'm going to bring that up here right into the middle because I want you to focus on this, and I want you to see how I think when it comes to running advertising, okay? So we're going to start our way from the top of the spreadsheet and we're going to work our way down because I want you to see how this makes sense to me, okay? So on the spreadsheet here, let me just make it a little bit bigger. On the spreadsheet here, I've got my Facebook advertising spend, I've got my Google AdWords spend, and I combine these two. So I know now for a fact that I spent £2,500 on Facebook and I spent 357 on Google. So combining my whole cost for advertising, this is any advertising I do comes under this banner here. So if I do Google ads, if I do Facebook, if I do whatever I do, it's basically I combine all of the advertising. So if I was doing a flyer drop as well, it would probably come under this as well, because I want to know how much am I spending on advertising, how much am I getting back. So basically 2,750 just to round that down for the speaking bit of it. So 2,750, that's what I spent on marketing. All right. So that's money that's gone out of my pocket. And for that money, for that £2,750, what I got back was I got the emails of 97 females, 69 men. So that means I got 166 emails. Then the leads, which is the application forms. Now a lot of companies, they qualify the lead as the email, but what we do is an application form. That's a lead to us. So from that 97 emails that we collected, we got 65 forms for the women, and then for the men, 69 emails that we got 43 forms. Okay, so we spent 2,750. We got 166 emails, and we got 108 application forms. Okay, so that's what we got. Now, this is just a calls. We basically dial down these numbers because we want to know how our sales lady is doing as well. How many calls did she make? How many people answered? So a call made is someone who's not answered the phone and we left a voicemail. So we know that typically takes like 3 minutes. And then people who answer, who we actually speak to, that's typically like a 15-minute to a 20-minute conversation that we have with them. So that's 135 people that she spoke to for 20 minutes long. So you do the math on that and you know basically how long she spent on the phone speaking to people, okay? So then we get into the sales that we made. Remember, we spent £2,750. We got 108 people who filled in an application form that said, look, we want to join your business. This is what I want help with. This is, call me, please. That's basically what the application form says, okay? From those 108 people, we signed up a total of 69 people on various different products. So that means we have our fit sales, which is £99 per month. We have 57. Then our strong sales is £157 per month. We have 8. And then basically we have some PT sales here that are various from £200 to £300 per month. We have 4 of those. In total, we basically made 69 sales, right? From all of that. Might be a slight miscalculation somewhere there, but we made 69 sales, all right? So basically what that means is now, if we take that on a monthly basis, because there's so many different products, I'm just going to keep that simple, okay? That's 69 people who are paying us £99 per month, for example, okay? So that means that is £6,900 extra a month that we've made, right, on top of that. But we've only spent 2,750, right? Now comes the very important numbers. Money collected. This is the cash that we collected, okay? So this is from people who got on the phone and said, hey, you know what, I want to join your business, or I want to join your gym. And then basically we said, okay, can we take the card payment? Okay, and then they might say like, okay, I want to start on the 1st of the month. Then we put them on our direct debit to start on the 1st of the month. Or if they want to start tomorrow, we then say, okay, let's work out pro rata how much you owe until the end of the month, until you can go onto our direct debit. So we collected £3,147, okay? So how does this work? If I say to you, I'm going to give you right now $2,750 and you give me back 3,147 back, then basically that wins, right? So we basically liquidated the ad spend. So we collected as much or just a little bit more, about £300 more money than we actually spend on advertising. So that basically means our advertising is already positive, Right? Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. So, but then we say these people who are on contracts, if all of them stay for 3 months long, that is 69 people paying £100 each month. That's 6,900 people, for example, and they stay for 3 months. That basically means, so let's round it down, £7,000 to 3 months, that's £21,000. So if those people stay for 3 months, we get the contract sales worth 3 months of, the contract sales for 3 months, and we make £21,000 from that, or 23. There's obviously different products and stuff in here. So can you guys see how that works? All right. So we've spent 2,750. We collected this cash, and if all those people stay for 3 months, because we know as a business, we know our numbers. We know we can keep people around for at least 3 months. If you can't keep people around for 3 months, you have a retention issue, and you need to solve that problem. All right. But then basically, if they all stay, that basically means we are making £21,000. So now we spent £2,750, but in 3 months, long, that total money would have brought us back this amount of cash. Okay, so that's like me saying, I'm going to give you this figure. You give me this figure right now, and I'll give you that back in 3 months. That's like fucking insane, right? So that's the return on your investment that we always talk about. But probably the most key area, or the most key numbers, is these three numbers down here. Cost per email address, cost per lead or application, and pounds spent to acquire a client. Right, so this is where it becomes key, because now, given this funnel, or given this numbers, I can strategically, by numbers, edgy guess, and that's a word edgy guess. So I make an educated guess. I just made that word up. So I can sort of say, okay, for every £39, or let's round it down to £40 that I spend on Facebook, it means I'm going to get a client. So if I put an ad out and I put it at £10 per day, every 4 days, technically, I should be getting a client. But before that, for every if I spend £10 per day, I know every 1.5 days I should be getting an email, and then every 2 days and a bit I should be getting an application form, and then every 4 days I'm gonna get a client. Okay. However, that is like very slow business turnaround time. So I can say, okay, I want 2 clients a day, so it means I need to spend £80 a day to get those 2 clients. So these are very important, because you can then say, okay, I edgy guess that according to these numbers, if I spend £80, I get 2 clients. So then you can optimize your Facebook campaigns to start getting you that money back, or to start getting you that clients. However, there are obviously metrics we need to look. Don't just go and spend £80 on Facebook. You have to do that in a strategic, structured way. And obviously, these numbers are my numbers. I'm an experienced marketer. I do this. I've created positioning. I've created influence in the local area. So your cost per client might be a little bit more expensive. So let's go and see how we're going to fill in the spreadsheet for yourself. How are you going to do that? So obviously I've given you the platform now to launch a Facebook ad on Facebook. Okay. Now what you got to do is you got to come every day and make sure that you complete this document, because you want to run your business by numbers. You don't want to run it by emotions. So you don't want to launch a campaign and say like, oh, I'm not sure if it's working. But you need to track these numbers. And every area, I can tell you that right now, every person that I work with has got different numbers. We can give a general sort of indication of what the numbers is. So those numbers that you've just seen on the screen earlier, that's my numbers. But you have to remember that I'm an experienced marketer who's been doing this for 5 years, and this is like my day job. Okay, so your numbers might not look as sweet as this. Okay, so you have to come into this spreadsheet every day and update your numbers. Okay, I'm going to give you a download. You can do that, and then you will know what your numbers for your business is. Okay, so let's say, for example, you are going to start spending £10 a day, whatever the case may be, and now a week has gone by and you spent £70, okay? So you fill that in, £70. Tomorrow you're gonna come in and you know you spent £80, whatever the case may be. So you're gonna spend £70 on Facebook. Then, yeah, you've been running campaigns basically, let's just keep it to females right now. You've been running campaigns to women for 28-day detox, or let's keep it to the 28-day challenge. So then from that, you've collected like, let's say 15 emails. So you need to go into Aweber every day and see how many emails have you collected so you can update this stuff, right? So now you've got 15 emails. So now we can say the cost per email right there is £4.67. So now we know every £4.67 that we spend, it gets us an email. So that's like 2 emails a day, basically, okay? Now from those 15 emails that we got, in total, the application forms that we got for the whole of January since we ran our campaign was, we got 6 application forms, just as an example, okay? So these are people who applied and we said like, look, you know, they filled in the form and said, look, I want you to give me a call, I'm interested in your program, blah, 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 blah. Now, for whatever reason, you're jumping on the call and maybe only 2 or 3 people answer and you only make 1 sale, right? So now we can see the numbers are updating here at the bottom. So we can say it's every £4 that we spent, £4.67 gets us an email. Every £11 that we spent gets us an application form, and every £70 that we spend gets us a client. Okay. So now let's say we're in half of the month or whatever the month, if you're taking a pro rata payment, you can say, okay, you know, I took £65 and they are set up for a direct debit from the first of the month, but my typical number says to me that I can keep clients for at least 3 months, okay? Now, let's basically say you're selling a program that's £99. So that means the contract value is £99 times 3 months, and that is £297. Okay, so here you can see you spend £70, and in 3 months you're going to get £297 back in that way. Okay, but you've only collected £65 for the pro rata to the end of the month. So your job, this is where it comes in retention. So you know. So your cost per client is £70. Now you know you've spent £70 in 1 week and you only got 1 client from that. Now next week you want to say like, look Martin, what I want to do is I want to get 3 new clients. So what does that mean? If we have that number, so 3 more clients means 70 times 3 is I need to spend £210 on Facebook to basically to get that return back, okay? So let me show you how this is going to work. Now you spent 210, you got 3 times more emails, because this is sort of what we've guessed. So let's say it's only 40 emails, and you only got 12 forms, and now you got 3 clients, okay? So your cost per client is still the same. These things are a bit more expensive, the cost per email address, but the cost per lead, but you've got the same rate on the clients. But you spend now more money. You spend £210 on that, for example. Okay. So, but actually, you know, you sold 3 programs. You've collected £180, for example, and then the contract value is 3 times 297, which would be almost £900. Okay. So then you can sort of guesstimate how many or how much money you need to spend on Facebook. So this is very simple. Let me just go out of this, reverse. So this is how you can look at your numbers and just basically see really quickly on whether you are running positive campaigns or negative campaigns or whatever the case may be. Now an indication of numbers is you should be spending about £60 on Facebook before you get a client. If you don't have the particular processes in place, like if you don't have emails and you're just sending them to leads and then just to clients, then you know you're guessing all of the steps, because every one of these steps tells us how much money we need to spend on Facebook. Okay. Now a lot of things influence how much it costs per client. Number 1 is what positioning you have in the local area. Number 2, Is your process flowing? Are they interested in the actual program that you want to sell? Number 3, are you actually trying to get hold of people? So whenever you get a form, you need to try at least 4 times to get someone on the phone. Like you text them a message before, hey, this is Martin here from Strength and Performance. I'm going to give you a call about the 28-day challenge that you applied for. Are you free right now to take a call? They'll text back and say yes, or say no, call me later on. And then it depends also on how good you are on the phone. How can you basically make the sale? And then basically that will give you an indication of numbers. But then let's say, for example, stuff goes horribly wrong. Let's say you spend £150, you collected 2 email addresses and nothing else happened. Okay, now it's costing you a lot of money, right? So £75 to get an email address. You should be aiming around £20. So if that figure is hitting around £20 and you still haven't had an email, then basically what you need to do is switch the ad off and see where the problem is, because you are there's something that is going wrong, and you can always ask me what's going on, and I can look into your funnel. But a general metrics is let's say £20 for an email, £40 for an application forms, and maximum £80 for a sale. And what we will do, or what I'm going to go into right now, is also why you should probably be charging more, because I know a lot of you guys are not charging enough for your programs, and this next video is going to explain to you exactly why you should be charging more based on these numbers on Facebook. Okay, so that's how you are going to track your current Facebook ads and knowing your advertising numbers. Next one, I'm going to just show you why you should probably charge more. Thank you. Bye-bye.